Whenever I did my first ADU, I tried to subcontract it out, and man, did that suck. The person actually was stealing money. And then what we did on the next one is we just hired a reputable contractor. Easiest thing that I ever had to deal with.
A lot of cities have a lot of bias on ADUs. They don't want them, dude. Getting a biased opinion of planning code and building codes is very much there.
The land value just became a lot more precious because of all the additional units that you can add basically to a property now.
It's not for a rookie that's just starting off. I'll just put it like that. Like if you're thinking like, hey, I'm a homeowner, I'm not gonna do an ADU, I'm gonna do an SB9 lot split, you're way over your head. Turn every single rock, because if you don't, your investing career could start off as a
In today's episode, we are going to be talking about what is SB9. We're also going to be talking about how to do a lot split, how to subdivide land, and how to build more ADU units, or how to build more units on your property. To help us with that, we have Eric Paul Escobar. He is the CEO and founder of Esco Builders, and he's got quite a bit of experience with SB9 and ADU specifically. Welcome to the show, Eric. How are you?
What's up, brother? How's it going, dude?
I love it. What is SB9? How does it work as a relationship to ADUs?
So SB9, bro, it's called Senate Bill 9 that got approved 2022, beginning of 2022. Very few investors, very few people are using it because it's not an easy thing to do, right? So the original way the law was interpreted, or the Senate bill was interpreted, was you have a lot, let's say 10,000 square feet, where you could split it. It has to be single family zoning, and you could build a tenant duplex. So to increase housing. That's how it's originally interpreted. A lot of cities, what they've done is they said, hey, you know what? We don't have these mega huge lots where you could do this in. So they're allowing you to add an SB9 unit to the single family residence. And then a caveat and a bonus is you could still add your ADU on top of that. So it could be a house, SB9 unit, and still add the ADU unit. The city of Long Beach does that, Lakewood. So in my area, I know what cities. So the quickest way you could find out is go to your city and ask them, hey, where are you guys at with SB9? Could we do lot splits? And could we do SB9 non-lot split?
And basically, if I understood you correctly, if you do a lot split, you can build 2 duplexes, so total 4 units. But the benefit of the lot split is you can sell them separately if you wanted to, or you can even sell the lot separately as well too. And then the other way is you can build up to 4 units, which means an ADU unit, SB9, main residence, and even if you wanted to a junior ADU, which would make it 4 units on one property, basically.
Correct. The thing I like about SB9 is that it's an actual unit. It's not an accessory dwelling unit. It's an actual unit. So on the appraised value, it's going to be a lot higher than the ADU. So that's really why we're digging into SB9 units.
Are there limitations as to square footage for the SB9 unit specifically, or is it like same 1,200 maximum square feet as the regular ADU?
Every city has different ordinances. So I'll give you an example here. In Downey, it was 800 square feet each, besides the existing homestays as is. And then Long Beach for non-lot splits as well, to I think 1,000. So every city has it. Kind of like ADUs. It's 1,200, but each city has their own ordinances on where they allow you to go as far as minimum and maximum square footage.
Got it. Now, if I wanted to do an SB9 unit or a SB9 lot split, I know you said go to your city. I've had certain instances where somebody goes to the city and there's a lot of misinformation or a lot of miscommunication. So if you were going down to the city, what would you ask them to make sure that they're giving you the right information? And then from the time they say, yes, this is possible, what does that process look like? Like, I know that for ADUs, they have like a timeline that they have to give you approval. Is that the same versus SB9? How long does it take? What does that process look like?
For the most part, dude, like people in the front of your planning department, what are they trying to do? They're city workers. They're trying to get you out of there as quick as possible. What we do personally is we email people on staff. So we email them so we can get it in writing. And that way you avoid all this misinformation and back and forth. Because if you're just like going to the city and you go to the planning department, yes, you could get like information on what you need to do, right? But if you want it concrete, get it in writing. And that way there's no misinformation, because they're going to want to backtrack on what they wrote. So usually the city planner is the one that's writing back to you. And that way you avoid all that misinformation you're talking about.
Yeah, not only that, but like now you have it in writing and they're not going to say something that's not true, because that's been kind of our experience where we have clients go down to the city and the city's like, oh, no, you can't do it because of this. They meet with an architect that has experience and the architect's like, no, you can actually do it, basically.
You got to understand, a lot of cities have a lot of bias on ADUs. A lot of people that live in cities, they don't want them, dude. Especially that planner is so against the ADUs. Guess what they're going to do to you? They're going to tell you whatever it takes so you won't build it. So, the misinformation and actually getting a biased opinion of planning code and codes is very much there. So you have to have an experienced architect, experienced company go and you're like
advocate, basically. What type of lots are better for the lot splits? Like, meaning, like, is it a 10,000 square foot lot, 12,000 square foot lot, 8,000 square foot lot? Would that cut it in some instances? What do you typically see?
I think ideally, the best lots would be always corner lots, dude. That's the best because you could chop it up. And once you do that lot split, the other lots facing the other street, So that's the best. Size-wise, if it's not a corner lot, like we did it here in Downey, this one was an 11,000 square foot lot. And we were able to fit it. So, but it's a flag lot. Since it's big and long, the entrance needs to be from the side of the house to get to that back lot. Obviously, the value of that drops a little, but ultimately it's still a good deal because you're getting a free lot in the back.
How long does the process for a lot split typically take? How long have you seen it?
So we were the first ones to get it done. As far as I know, we're probably one of the only ones that's gotten it done. It took us about a year and 4 months, but people are like, man, that's forever compared to an ADU, right? You think about that, but think about this. You're in real estate. How much does a piece of land in Downey cost? What would you think? Would you assume?
If I had to take a guess, like if a property costs $1 million, you're probably looking at like 400,000, 300,000 in that range.
That's kind of where we're thinking at 400, and it costs us 50,000 to do it. So how many times would you do that over?
Yeah, it's like an unbelievable. It's almost like and this is because a lot of people are like, oh, the real estate market's overpriced, or if you look at affordability levels, it's too high. But what a lot of people are not factoring in is the fact that the land value just became a lot more precious because of all the additional units that you can add basically to a property now. Does it cost more if you're use 50,000 to do a lot split for the SB9 for the additional unit? Does it cost more to do that than the traditional ADU, or what does that look like?
Permitting, like getting like your fees are going to cost you a little bit more than compared to the ADU, but same thing. You're getting the actual value. The problem with ADUs is like I'm just going based on an investor mindset, right? If you're talking about ADUs, it's kind of hard to refinance it because a lot of people don't know where the value is at unless there's comparables, right, in the area, which everybody that's building ADUs is not building to sell. So now we're talking about another unit. So now you could go to the appraiser and be like, hey, this is a duplex now. So now you can see duplexes in the area, what they're going for. And now there's a more actual appraised value after you're done with construction. So even though it's going to cost you a little bit more on the front end on permitting, I still think it's a lot better if you're an investor and you're trying to do this because you could actually get ARV on it after repair value and have actual comparables because now it's a duplex.
You had said something about like if you're doing the SB9 unit that you needed a certain amount of free space or something like that. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, they call it open space. So some cities require you to have open space because it's an actual unit compared to ADU, they don't. So you do have to have, we've done it on 6,000 square foot lots, 7,000 square foot lots. So you need to have a minimum open space. And once again, I go back to, I know I sound like a broken record because I talk about this all the time. Every city is different when it comes to this. So go check with your city. Make sure you talk to your planning department because they're the ones that are going to say yay or nay at the end of the day. Not this guy on a podcast.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, so I agree with you, or I know I agree with you. Like in our markets, like Oxnard and Ventura, take like a year to a year and a half for just ADU permits. There are certain cities like 1 month. There's other cities for 4 months. In that example that you gave of the 1 year and 4 months on the lot split, what was traditional for an ADU in that city? Just to be able to compare, like if it's a year and a half for ADU and a year and a half for an SB9, then it's kind of like the same process regardless. But if it's 4 months for ADU, year and a half for lot split, then it adds about a year in that case, basically.
So it's about 4 months for us. And then once again, I say for us because You know, in this space, you could have a great real estate agent or a horrible real estate agent. Same thing as a contractor, good or bad, architect, good or bad. So some people say this city is the worst city to work in. I'm like, dude, it's one of the best cities for me because we take 4 months. In the city of Long Beach, it takes us 2 months to get plans approved. But we work the same cities over and over, so it's always important to find somebody that's already in that city and has those connections with the planning department, with the building department. It's not saying that they're doing things that the way they shouldn't be doing it, but they already recognize the work and they're going to get it done. So that's super important. Like the city you're working in, don't just hire a contractor or architect that doesn't know about the city. I think make sure get somebody that knows about the city.
What are some misconceptions that you see about the SB9 or lot splits that other people have that you would say aren't true, or mistakes that you see when people are looking to do this?
That it's easy. It's not easy. It's going to take time. And like I told you offline, I said, there's not a lot of people doing this because it takes time, because it does cost money. But hey, let's just say you're breaking even on the front house, $3,000 and $3,000 is your mortgage, or $4,000, whatever it is. And you got time, like a piece of land is worth a lot of money right now. So I don't see why you wouldn't do it. So if time's not a factor because you're breaking even on the money, or let's just say you're losing $200 a month on your mortgage, that's still 200 times, 18 months compared to the value you're going to get on the back end. It's huge. So misconceptions, I really don't see many, bro, because not many people are doing it. So everybody's kind of like, oh, this takes too long, and a lot of investors just stay away from it.
What is the process for doing the actual lot split? Like, meaning like you need to get a survey, you need to get an architect, like what does that look like just in the background?
Yep. So I'll give you step one. You're going to get a surveyor. Once you get the survey, the architect together, they're working together, and they're going to see where the parcels are going to go, right? Based on the survey. Once you get that done, you kind of go through a mini conditional use permit with the city. You turn it into the planning department. Hey, here's what we're proposing under SB9. You fill out the application just like you would an ADU. Once they say yes, then you got to go civil engineering, grading, topo report, like a bunch of reports and requirements are going to need, the city's going to need. Once you give that back to the city, they're going to say, yes, that's cool, keep it moving. But they already said yes to your original, so they can't back up anymore, right? Because they already said yes to your original. Once they do that, you do the full-on set of plans. You turn that into, once you turn that into the city and they give you the yes on the plans, now the city, you grab that from the city and you go to the county and you record it. Once you record it at the county level, you come back to the city and you get your permits, right? The city we're in, they're requiring us to do to record saying that we're not going to build more than 2 units on the property, even after it sells. No matter if it's us or another owner, the only units that are going to be there are 2 units. So they want us to record that, and it's a lot of back and forth and getting civil engineer, all the people that have to be involved, getting them to work together because it's not just one person. Because you're going to turn in a nice thick set of plans because you're building basically a new parcel. You're creating a new parcel. So it does require a lot of people, but it's not for a rookie that's just starting off. I'll just put it like that. Like if you're thinking like, hey, I'm a homeowner, I'm not going to do an ADU, I'm going to do an SB9 lot split, like you're way over your head. I would say keep it simple. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I do this every single day on my day job. Like my day job is this. So I said, cool, before I sell it to any customer, let me test it on myself.
I love it. What about utilities? How are utilities different when you're doing the lot split?
So you're going to need brand new sewer line connecting to the street. You're going to need, for that back lot, for the new lot, right? You're going to need new electrical, new water, so all new runs. So it's going to cost you more than in construction because you're running new water line, sewer line, electrical, and these are not going to have gas. So now on new builds, no gas, just so you know.
What about easements? How does that work? Is that non-corner lots? Is that typically the way to go, or?
Yeah. So this and it has to be very lot specific. This one had 2 driveways on each side, on each side of the other driveway. So we're using one driveway to go to the back, and that one's going to have maybe a 2-foot easement on it. Other than that, we don't have any other easements on the property on the lots besides that one because. The overhang of the house is kind of like on that driveway side. So that's why we're creating that easement there.
So basically, if the lot is set up correctly, you may not need to do an easement. If obviously, for some lots, you may have to do an easement basically on the property.
And that's what that beginning when you first turn it into the planning department, hey, here's what we're proposing. That's why that's so important, because if you don't do that and you try to build the whole, you do all the structural calculations and all the building plans, and your architect like, no, let's just keep moving forward, and the city hasn't seen it and they shut you down, like you wasted all that money for no reason.
All that time as well too. Got it. Cool, man. Anything else that you think would be helpful for somebody considering doing SB9 or a lot split or even the SB9 unit?
Yeah, dude, I think more like anything, this real estate investing, everybody right now, I think we're stepping back from it. Everybody just a year ago, year and a half ago was painting a beautiful picture that it's easy to make money, that, hey, it's easy to build an ADU. Maybe if you've done it a few times. But if you're just starting off, I'd say, you know what, keep it simple, hire a reputable contractor. And, they could hire you, bro, but you're a real estate agent. So I don't know if you're going to be spending your time on the side doing this, So zero time on it. Exactly. So that's what I tell a lot of people. Find somebody that's reputable. Check the Google reviews, check the Yelp reviews, check their Instagram, check everything, dude. Check their license on the California State License Board. Make sure you go through everything, turn every single rock, because if you don't, it could become a nightmare. Your investing career could start off as a nightmare, and I've seen it so many times, which sucks.
I have too, and it's interesting because even when there was somebody online promoting ADUs very heavily, and then I kind of saw him go silent for a while, and then I kind of looked up the name on Google, and like the reviews on there were like, this guy went bankrupt, like left our project halfway through. So I think what you're saying is like very important to like do the homework up front, check the licenses, check the reviews to make sure that everything is good. If it sounds too good to be true, if they're building it too low of a price per square foot, you may need to be a little bit careful with that as well.
And one thing, people compare, bro. Like, say how long have you been building for, or been doing in this?
So I've been selling real estate for 13 years, and then I bought my first rental, I think 13 years ago as well too. Yeah. So
you have contacts for 13 years that you might be able to get better pricing. So that's you. And that's what I tell people. Then let's just say not you specifically, but somebody like you goes and tells everybody, hey, you could build it for 200, because they're building it at 200, but they have contacts for 13 years that will take care of them for whatever reason it may be. So then you're a homeowner or you're a new investor and you're like, hey, Jose Luis is building for 200 a foot. So that's market rate's going, because that's what he said. And I'm like, no, he's building for 200 a foot because he has connections. That's a big difference. You don't. So unless he's going to give you all your connections, he's going to run the project for you, then you might get that price. But other than that, it's like just find a reputable contractor. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, especially for your first deal, dude.
Well, even this, I'll tell you this, like whenever I did my first ADU, I tried to subcontract it out, and man, did that suck. It was just like a lot more management. Like the person actually was like stealing money as well too. So we went through a phase where it was just like, oh, we overspent. The first ADU, we were this guy that basically did it wrong. And then what we did on the next one is we just hired a reputable contractor, somebody that we have a relationship with. Easiest thing that I ever had to deal with, gave us a set price, delivered on everything that he said he was. And then after that, I didn't have to worry about it. And ever since, I don't get involved in the subcontracting out, just because unless your is 100% on that, there's so many things that could go wrong, basically.
Yeah, I'll give you two stories, dude. This guy, we've done probably 3 to 4 ADUs for him, right? And he's my friend, so I have to him like about this. He said, hey, the next one I want to do it myself. So cool, I'll let you borrow my contacts. And so he kind of hodgepodge some of his contacts with my contacts. It's a nightmare, dude. We got gas leaks, electrical problems. And I'm like, bro, like, how much did you really save? I actually lost more money than if I would have just done it with you. So that's reality. And a lot of people think that they're going to hook them up. Not going to happen, dude.
Well, not only that, but there's so many things that could go wrong. And then with the subcontractors, I'd rather be able to go back to one person and be like, hey, look, this is what's going on. You had the whole project. Like, what can we do about it versus having separate, different people? Good, man. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Social media, dude. Eric Paul Escobar on any social media handle. That's kind of, we keep it simple, and we just show the good, the bad, and the ugly about ADUs, and SB9 and all things construction. And we do investing too, but that's kind of like my side gig, But our main thing is construction.
I love it, bro. So I want to say thank you for coming on the show. This was a little bit of a short episode. However, it's a short topic as well, too. I literally just wanted to come in here and talk about SB9. So if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you feel this episode would be helpful, make sure to hit that share button. Thank you again, Eric. I appreciate your time. And to our viewers, until next time.